It's your boy JPN, and we back with another reaction video. And let me move my screen again. Okay, so this time we here with the roommates, and it says the problem with male promiscuity. And I never really heard about. I never really heard anyone talk about this, so I seen this video. I was actually gonna watch it. I was just about to watch it, but I was like, all right, let me just film a reaction to it so I can just watch it at the same time with everybody else. All right, we'll give my quick opinion on this. I guess later down the line there could be problems with it, but I don't really know. That's why I'm really here to just listen to this video because I don't really know. So I'm gonna start with the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys go check out the roommates, a very good male improving podcast channel / information channel. So definitely go check that out, especially young men. Go check it out. Go subscribe. Go do all that stuff. Go check out their Patreon, all that, because the roommates, very, very good YouTube channel.
Yours is everybody's Hafiz.
Chris is starting the show, baby.
Yes, welcome back, Roommates Uncut. Another episode.
Let's go, baby, man. What's up, superstar?
Listen. A lot of things we got to talk about on this Uncut.
Yeah. All right.
A lot of things that we have to communicate about on this Uncut. Because there's just been a lot on my mind, a lot on your mind. We take a lot of this to Patreon. We want to keep it safe.
Yeah.
But anything you want to say before we get started? Any updates? Anything?
Nah, man, don't put me on the blast like that. I mean, I think, our legacy would speak for itself. That's all I gotta say.
So, all right, I got a DM on Patreon the other day, and I got this DM, but I got the same exact message in person.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to talk about the one in person because that was a little bit more impactful. I was in the gym working out, and while I was working out in the gym, somebody stopped me. And they're like, "Hey, man, you look a lot like a YouTuber I follow." And I was like, "My name is Hafiz. Nice to meet you."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh man, oh man, pleasure to meet you. I get a picture of this, that, and third." Very kind guy. He was like,
Okay, player. Hard night to you, right, baby? Shout out to Hard Night. Change how feels like.
and then he was like, "I was in a very dark place with women, and I was on the very dark side of the other side of the internet. With the red pill guys and the manosphere guys. I was on that side, and then I found you guys.
Wow.
And you guys' message was a complete opposite, and I could tell that you guys were different. And ever since I followed you, my entire life changed."
Wow.
And I was just like, that really like warms my heart, because I was like, dang man, like that was great. Because I know sometimes people are always lumping us in the same group with everybody, but like him being like, bro, I was there on this unhealthy side, and he was clearly seeing that there was a difference on our.
Quick. Alright, so quick comment on what he's talking about right now. So he's talking about the red pill, the manosphere side, right? And basically what red pill means is basically awareness. You're aware of what is going on in the world. You're aware of what's going on with men, women. You're just aware. You know the truth of the world, women, men. It's just truth, right? You just know the truth, right? And on that side, there is a lot of content creators, you know what I mean? Such as Steph is Cold, Alpha Male Strategies, FitX, you know what I mean? Modern Life Dating. There's a lot of people, right? Donovan Sharp. There's a lot of people on that side, you know what I mean? And not necessarily it's the unhealthy side. It's what the truth. Sometimes the truth does hurt. It does hurt to hear the truth and to know why this and this happened with this woman, and why the world acts like this, and why the government moves like this, and the truth of life, right? That's what the red pill means. It's like if you watch The Matrix, the blue pill, the red pill, I think in The Matrix it was like, take the blue pill for this and take the red pill. Like, so it's like, take the pill and you'll see. As in, not literally take the pill, but like, as in, be aware, right? So, with the awareness, sometimes, sometimes with the awareness comes with, you know, too much truth. And then after, you could start to partake in unhealthy behaviors with women, with the world, with whatever, right? This is more so for men in a sense, right? So when you're saying this, when he said this guy he met in the gym, and the guy was like, I was taking part of in all these unhealthy things. He was probably, doing a lot of things to women, doing a lot of things in the world, and I get it. And there's something called red pill rage. So it's when you find out the truths. This is more. I think it's more dominantly uh, directed towards women. So when you find out the truth, you'll start, treating women bad, or doing, doing them dirty, having sex with them, and just leaving them, and whatever, right? So you'll start doing more certain things. This usually starts after heartbreak or whatever, right? After a relationship, or after something in the world starts going wrong, right? You know what I mean? Or it starts at home with their parents. I gotta move out. Or it starts with even the government and society. You're like, okay, I gotta know the truth, right? And see, with the rage, it it can be with the rage. It can, if you don't, you have to learn to understand that you cannot be in the rage form, right? So when you're raging, it's like you're angry, and you don't fully understand why people are doing what they're doing. And I understand everyone's in the rage. Like, everyone had the rage. I had my rage, right? You know what I mean? And it's more so just, you just hate what's going on. You're like, it's unfair, blah blah blah. But when you start to understand, when you start to take it in, you're like, it just is what it is, and how to navigate through the society, through women, through men, through everything, right? You learn to navigate. So that's basically kind of what he's talking about, or what that guy he met at the gym, that's what he was doing. And yes, it can become unhealthy, because you gotta know certain things. You gotta take in the information in that side, the manosphere, the red pill space. You gotta take in certain information, but not take it all in, because that might not apply to your life, and that's the key. And that guy probably was taking everything in, and the things were not, like, he's not the guy on the screen. You know what I mean? I'm the guy on the screen. I'm not you. You know what I mean? So what I think, what I do is not what you should do. You should take the advice and apply it in your own fashion to make it good for you. So that's kind of what he was talking about right there, is to clear that up, to make it more, to make you guys understand what he's talking about, or that space, the unhealthy side. It's not the unhealthy side. It's unhealthy when certain men take it to the extreme. And that's the problem, when you take it to the extreme. You're not supposed to take anything to the extreme. And that guy probably did. And the reason why I can speak on this so clearly is because I've took it to the extreme once, but I took it down and said, no, 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 that's not how it's gonna go. That's too extreme. That's not reality. Now it becomes unhealthy. Now it becomes, toxic. Now it becomes whatever. So that guy took it to the extreme, and I know why he took it to the extreme, because the truth, especially about society, women, etc., that shit will that shit will mess a man up. When you really know the truth, sometimes in conversations with women, people in society, whoever, I'm telling you, because when you're talking to them, it's like you already know. You hear them talking. You hear the cap. Cap means lies. If you don't know what that means, you hear the lies that someone is saying or someone is doing, and it's like, man. And you look at them sideways. You're like, man, this person is lying to me. Man, this guy's lying to me. Man, this woman is lying to me. Man, the society's lying to me. TV is lying to me. The news is lying to me. Social media is lying to me. So then you start to get angry, then you start to get rage because you know the truth. And see, it's tough, man, but sometimes you gotta say, hey, you know the truth, but you gotta learn how to interact with the BS, but navigate around it. Okay, say okay, and navigate around it. You know what I mean? Navigate around it. Not just, I hate you and start beating it up. No. You understand it, you take it in, you say, that's your point of view, that's very nice. But you navigate around it. You have a girl, you have a girl here, you understand, she gonna test you, she gonna do all this crazy stuff, but you navigate around it, you understand it, you don't beat someone down, you navigate around it. You see a guy who doesn't know the truth and he starts acting these ways and certainly you navigate around you know what I mean? You're not trying to judge people for what they do, society for what it does, and on TV, social media, the lies. I understand the lies are like crazy, but you have to navigate around. You have to move in a certain fashion, and that's what a lot of guys don't understand to do. Because when you move in a certain fashion, it doesn't become unhealthy. It shows that you're aware and you know how to move correctly, and you will not get angry to the point where you start to hate everything. And that's why it's a rage, because you start to hate men, women, society, social media, TV, this and don't hate it. Embrace it and navigate around it. Take in what you want to take in from it. Take what you want from it, and the other stuff that you think is negative and unhealthy and it's not good for you, don't take it, because sometimes people take it all in, right? So that's what he's saying, and it's very important for me to explain that part, why he met that guy at the gym and he said these unhealthy fashions, it's not unhealthy fashions, it's unhealthy when you take it to the extreme and you don't understand that people are going to do what they're going to do, but you need to find a woman who's good for you, a man who's good for you. You need to find good role models in society. You need to surround yourself with good groups of people. You need to understand that the government is doing this. Okay, what can I take from what the government is doing that seems good for me, and how to avoid the stuff that I don't, personally I disagree with, that I wouldn't want to partake in. Or TV, I'm watching this TV show, I'm watching this movie, I see the truth in it, I see how it's destroying men and women in society, I see how it's, people can take it out of context, the fairy tales are made. Okay, how can I actually just watch this with enjoyment but not really take it in? It's like me, I listen to rap music. When I listen to rap music, I hear they're talking about killing, drugs, this and that. I'm not going to do those things, but it's just enjoy the melody of the song. You know what I mean? It is the song, it is what it is, but don't partake in it. Don't take it literal. You know what I mean? Don't take everything literally. And that's the problem. You know what I mean? That's the problem with some people in the red pill space, in the manosphere. They take it literally, everything literally. Some things, you have to take it, you know what I mean? If you're a good person, don't become a bad person because the bad people are winning in life. Yes, I understand. But you have to move in a fashion where you can still be a good person, but just make better choices. Change your life, switch your reality for yourself. And I had to go in on that point because, you know what I mean, I personally disagree with that, but there is a lot of truth to what they're going to say right now.
Our side, and one of the things he shared was what I love the most about what you talked about, amongst many things, obviously leveling up, building yourself up, becoming the best version of yourself, all that stuff. But he said, especially when it came to women, he said on the other side of the internet there was so much negativity and there was so much of a message of promiscuity.
Got you.
You know,
Yeah.
like the message on the other side of the internet is so much messages about getting laid, having sex, banging thousands chicks, banging this, banging that. You know, like it's all about sex.
Yeah.
And he was like, I love that you guys were totally different, and I love that you guys made it about healthy relationships and just being healthier people. And that really stood out to me, man. And I've been thinking about that topic for a really long time. And I'm really grateful to God that people like him and like I said, I got a DM very similar to that, or people who see that. And last year, most people knew us from my Big Brother series.
Mm-hmm.
Started that in August, so almost a year ago. And the purpose of the Big Brother series was that, I made a ton of mistakes with women my whole life. I've been completely transparent and honest. Like I was like Albert Brenneman, no guile and no game, that's me. And there's so many lessons I had to learn the hard way to be able to have a healthy relationship that I still have today. And I want to share with you guys a brief summary of those lessons. And that was my goal. I'm not a dating coach, not a dating expert. I just want to share with you guys what I've learned from my life and hopefully helps you out. And a lot of those videos did very well. Two of them didn't do very well. And the last one also didn't do very well. But it was the most important one. And the last video that I put out on that Big Brother series was sex is not an accomplishment. That was like the whole series. With hopefully, I hope people will tune in for the finale. I obviously didn't, but at the finale, the message was sex is not an accomplishment. Because what I've seen so often, especially not just on the internet but amongst young men, is that they treat sex like it's the litmus test for masculinity. Like it's like getting stars on your helmet, like back in the football days. You know what I mean? Where it's like it's a badge of honor. And I was like, bro, we're changing that whole narrative. We're changing that whole narrative. And
Facts.
And obviously some people watch it, and they benefit from it. And to me, I really feel as though there's not enough conversation about male promiscuity and the culture of it and the side effects.
Yeah.
Because there's three parts to it. It's the culture that we all kind of live in, but the main part I want to talk about is the side effects, the things people don't talk about. And so I don't know. I felt like it'd be a great conversation to do on Uncut. That's when we get the patrons and we start really getting into the deep.
And see, I'm gonna let him go a little bit more. Then after that, it's a long video, so I'm not gonna react to the entire thing. And I'm probably gonna watch the rest on my own time. But see, the thing is, I think, I believe why we don't talk about male promiscuity is because, and there's statistics and stuff to show that in this era, men, only 10 to 20% of the men, you guys probably heard about that, are having sex with the women, right? Not a lot of men are going out there and, approaching women and, necessarily becoming those promiscuous men, because not a lot of guys are out there doing that. And the thing is, you'll see like, oh my God, these guys are all doing, these guys are all doing. And the thing is, actually, that stat 10 to 20%, we'll never really know because you don't know every single person in the world, right? So maybe it could be true, maybe it couldn't be true, but at the same time, what you see, you know what I mean. And since this is the era of time, people are having the least sex right now, even though it's like what. But now you can really go search that stuff up. Like, no, it's before with men it used to be more, but now it's a little bit. Now it's like less, right? So it's like, are they? Yes, but are they? No. It's like a yes and no. What I personally believe, and Don't worry, it is out there. Like the guys who are doing it, you know what I mean. The guys who are doing like crazy, who are sleeping with all types of women. You know what I mean. It can. I definitely I agree on this. It definitely will mash you up because I know people personally. You know what I mean, and I've seen it. People got mashed up by that stuff, man. You get mashed up, you meet the wrong girl, and you know what I mean, and you get messed up in the head. You start believing certain things. Someone start. The girl starts telling you this and this, and you start acting on it. And hey, man, that's why you gotta be careful. You know what I mean? Because someone could be super unhealthy, and you're going to sleep with an unhealthy person. And when you sleep with that unhealthy person, you might, what I mean? They call it soul ties. You might, what I mean? You might start taking up unhealthy energy. It's like an energy transfusion. You might just, you know, be intimate with this person, and all of a sudden, all their depressed energy, all their whatever energy they have in their body, negative, what I mean, soulless, you might start to feel that, what I mean, because it's a transaction. It's a spiritual transaction between two people. So you gotta be careful, you know what I mean? Even me personally, there was a couple of unhealthy women who wanted to partake in the act of sex with me, but I had to tell myself nah because I know what can happen, you know what I mean? I know what can happen. And I I told myself, I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna get caught with that because I've seen what has happened to somebody else. It's like you see someone, what I mean. You see someone, kill somebody or break in someone's house. Don't do the same thing because you see the consequences of the jail time. Just like it's the same thing. I see the consequences of that sexual transaction with that unhealthy person. So you got to be careful. Just like how the women take care of themselves and make sure, hey, I'm not sleeping with no random guy. I mean, sometimes, not all the time, I guess, but men, we have to do the same thing too. You gotta, if she's an unhealthy girl, she's a negative girl, she's not a positive woman, and you gotta say, hey, she's very attractive. I want to get in them cheeks. I want to be the booty bandit today, but you can't be the booty bandit. You gotta say, hey, this girl's toxic, this girl's unhealthy, this girl's whatever, this, you know what I mean? And you gotta take those red flags and you gotta say, hey, I can't do this. You gotta protect your own energy, protect your energy, protect yourself. So, you know what I mean? And a lot of times in male promiscuity, like, you just be sleeping and having sex with anything, and that's the thing is, this is how we're programmed, But we gotta take account and just not go too crazy on that because it can mess you up, man. I know someone very, very, very personal in my life, man. They got messed up by that, man, and I've seen it live. You know what I mean? And that girl messed him up, man. That one girl messed him up. Not like a bad breakup. No, that one girl messed him up, and I know it's because of the sexual transaction. Because she was promiscuous, she was doing all this stuff, and he took all the energy from those other people, and he got that negative. You know what I mean? So, men, you gotta be careful. But let's continue for a little bit more.
That's it. But yeah, man, I just think it's something that we just don't talk about enough.
Nah, I agree with you, man. It's not talked about enough, especially like you said, the side effects. Growing up, neighborhood, sports team, in high school, that was the prize for a lot of young men was, when's the first time you gonna have sex?
Yeah.
And then, like, dang, you bagged her? Dang, you got her? Like, especially if it's the one that's like, at the top of the mountain that nobody can get. It's like it's the ultimate badge of honor when you walk around, high school and these college campuses. And that kind of just transferred over into really just social media. Yeah. Creating that lifestyle, creating that attraction, that sex appeal of saying like, man, look at all the women that I can get, you can get too, or you should live this life, et cetera, et cetera. And especially the guys that have had that experience, they see that as gold.
Yeah.
They see that as like, man, that's exactly what our young man American dream is.
Yeah.
Have a lot of money, have a lot of status, attract a lot of women. You know, do as you please. The world is yours. You know. So yeah, that is super. Always talked about, especially in young community, but it's never talked about the side effects. You know, I think the side effect comes when people get older or when they see their friends get, you know, in real life situations.
Yeah.
Pregnancies, STDs, you know, a serial struggle with monogamy relationships. You know, those kind of things. They see that and it's like, oh, now.
Lord, listen. I just thought about thinking about what the three things you just said.
Yeah, that's a triple threat.
Think about it. You said struggling in monogamous relationships,
100%.
STDs,
Yes.
and unwanted pregnancies.
Yes. Yes.
Think about what you told me earlier today. The news you gave me earlier.
Yeah.
That's a.
Yes. Yes, brother. Yes. If you play with fire, you will get burned.
Got hit with the trifecta, man.
The trifecta. The trifecta. If you play with fire, you will get burned. And it's not even just like that. The female organism act whatever organ is so like, you know, such a huge thing for that person. It's more of just like he hasn't been healed.
Yeah.
So most men run to women for comfort.
Yeah.
Whether that's pornography, whether that's just like I know I used to text multiple women to get my words of affirmation from somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna give me my words of affirmation so I can feel good about myself.
Yeah.
Or they run to just sleeping around with women to make themselves feel good.
Yeah.
You know, those side effects are not talked about enough because, you know, like it's not cool. Or a lot of people don't think it's going to happen to them.
Yeah.
You know, and they just ignore. I'll handle it. I'll wrap it up. Yeah, all that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not talked about enough because, you know, we have to be the ones to step forward.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
No, and you're right because, like you said, at the beginning of those early adult years, like that's the way that everyone determines who's a cool and who's not. I'll never forget, it was my freshman year of college. I was 17 years old, and, you know, people on the team knew I was really young and stuff like that. And they were like, oh, man, you're 17? Then you're not even a man. And then they were like, you know, where you – and they're like, you know, just jokes around. They're like, man, where you from? I was like, well, you know, it depends. I was born in Staten Island, but I was raised in Atlanta. And then one of my teammates was like, you know, where'd you get your first piece of pussy at?
Yeah, you know they go, no, that question coming. It's crazy.
And he's like, that's where you're from. And at that time, I never had sex before, so I was like, I guess I'm from nowhere then, because I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Bro.
Oh,
and
man.
whole team, roast.com, bro. Roast.com, whole team blaming me up.
Did you know? Young adults with disabilities have a harder time getting hired.
The whole year.
The whole year?
Yeah.
Man.
But not like I was goddamn, you know, Urkel, but it was like if there was a joke, they would throw that in the back. Throw that in the back. So a lot of men grow up in that.
Yeah.
So there's that culture, in my opinion, and bro, if we keep it 100% honest, it's like sometimes even sex is not even about women. It's just about proving to other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like sometimes it's not even about like girls or wanting women. It's like proving to other men that you're man enough.
You get the respect.
Exactly. And so when you go through that, then you start developing with your friends the badge of honor stories.
Exactly.
And the badge of honor stories is like, hey, bro, look at this girl, man. Yo, you hit. Yeah. And then you start being incentivized over and over again. Then you hit that, bro. I hit that. Like it's over and over. You came over the house, so now you have these badge of honor stories that start compounding, and it's this positive feedback loop in your brain where the more I do this, the more respect I get. But then eventually, like you said, every guy, in my opinion, who's really in the streets, I've never really been in the streets.
Yeah.
But every guy who's really been in the streets has been hit with one of the dark three.
100%.
As Chris mentioned, STD.
Yep.
unwanted pregnancy,
100%.
and cheating on their person that they really loved.
Yes.
They couldn't have no discipline. And so, what you don't see with all these guys teaching all these men or emphasizing these things is men, especially when you're that old, because a lot of times it's uncles and older men teaching this younger guys. It's like, bro, you know what this did to you.
Yeah.
And there's still no knowledge of, okay, let me warn the younger guys in falling into the ditch.
It's a badge, bro. It's a respect badge. Like, and it's probably, if you're not a star athlete in high school, we're really talking about high school. College is too big, like, it's really too big. But high school, if you're not the star athlete, you know, you're not like the drop dead, like, gorgeous guy or like the super popular guy because you've been there so many times. But the quickest way you probably can get respect in your school is if you can pull women.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. If you know you can pull women consistently, you know, it's like, oh yeah, so and so, he cool, man. Like how is he, man? Like, bro, he be pulling. Like, you know, it's like instant respect.
Yeah.
You know, so people it's a drug.
Yeah.
You know, people get caught up in that of saying like, yeah, that boy right there is a bad man. You know, it's a guy from my high school. His legacy is known for getting women. Like, literally, his name is Blank the Man. Like, that's him. Like everybody that he come in contact with, you better watch out.
Yeah.
He can't help himself. You know, he cannot help himself. Marriage is like come on, big old cuz, I can't get married, cuz these women, man, I don't even do nothing no more, cuz. Like, I can't say no to the box, man. What you want me to do, man? You understand me though, right? All right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he is so deep in that lifestyle because that literally gave him identity.
Yeah.
That's just probably what he's most known for. And having respect from all the guys that either you want respect from or you look up to, you know, that's what, you know, these men want. And then, like I said, you also get the ultimate booster of, you know, acceptance and approval and validation because this woman is literally opening herself to you.
Yeah.
And little to no effort sometimes. We ain't even gonna talk about the women today. But it's just saying, like, that way as well, they get it on both sides. So it just, you know, especially if you didn't have, like, to me, if you never really walked in that life to a certain extent where you had, like, you know, fun weekend multiple times in a row, had that, I guess, whole phase of life, you know, you can look like, man, I'm missing out on that.
Yeah.
And I want that. And that seemed like it's really cool because people, like, everybody's happy. You know, you got the women around you. And I never had that experience before. I want that. How can I get that?
There's a really popular book that came out, I believe, in the 2000s. It was called, dang it, what was the book called? Neil Strauss, The Game. And there is this famous pickup artist. His name was Mystery.
Oh, wow.
World famous pickup artist.
Yeah, that's lit.
And Neil Strauss wrote a book. It's like it's a best-selling book, New York Times best-selling book, about his experience in the pickup artist community. So Mystery was a guy who's just known to, like, go into clubs, smash tens the first night. Like, he was just like, and all the young guys, especially the guys with no identity, we'll talk a little bit more about that later, they worshipped him because, like, he had powers that they wish they could have.
Yeah.
Right? And someone, I was always interested in the book. I never finished it, but I picked it up, and I remember the first chapter, and the first chapter was about Mystery trying to kill himself. He literally began the book with Mystery trying to kill himself, and it was over a woman. And it was just really powerful how the book just began. And I remember someone summarizing what was going on, and he was saying that the problem is that they learn all these skills to have sex, but they never learn the skills to have healthy relationships. And then eventually, when they, as all human beings eventually get, besides a few anomalies, when they try to build something of substance in the future, you never have those skills, you mess it up, you're destroyed.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, so there's just so many layers to the conversation about the male promiscuity, and a lot of it begins with identity.
Yes.
But for us to get really into it, Go to Patreon
Let's do it.
and let's finish this conversation. All right, guys, you have just enjoyed a short sample.
Alright guys, that's the end of the video. You know, shout out to the roommates. Everybody go check out their channel. Big channel, nice channel. Definitely all the men, I recommend this channel if you're on your journey of self-improving, especially young guys. Definitely they will help you out, you know what I mean? And they'll give you the keys to life, you know what I mean? And it's definitely the channel you want to check out because, you know, conversations like these, you're never going to find them anywhere. But anyways, that's the end of the video. It's your boy JPN, and we out. Got it.